Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Big Brigade. Welcome back to my channel. Today's an exciting day. Today we're going to make the V for Victory shawl. And this is a full-size version of it. I used Red Heart Gemstone for this, which is a 5-weight yarn for this version of it. It turned out very, very lovely. And I'll show you back here. You can see the back. How the colors played out. It's very long back here. You see how the stitches play out? Okay, and you can make this as big or not so big, and you can use this pattern in 1 all the way up to 5-weight yarn. So, you excited? I'm excited. You ready to make it? I'm ready to teach it to you. Let's do this. Okay, y'all, let's try to make this tutorial. This is about the millionth take. So these are the materials that you're gonna need. You'll need a darning needle to tuck in your ends, some scissors, a crochet hook, of course. Now with this yarn, I'm using my 6mm clover hook. This is the yarn that I'll be using for the tutorial, the Karen Cinnamon Swirl Cake. I'm using the colorway Heat Wave, which is gorgeous. And so let's get started. To get us started, we'll need us a slip knot. Whichever way you decide to do your slip knot is completely fine. Now the way I do my slip knot, I just take me a loop here and I crisscross it like so, and then I pull it up like that, okay? And then I take and pull my working yarn like that, and then just tighten it down on my hook like so, okay? And then we're gonna chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now make this a little loosey-goosey for yourself because you're gonna work into that first chain, okay? All right. So we're gonna yarn over, and then we're gonna go with a double crochet into this first little chain right here, okay? And this is where we're gonna work a bunch of stitches right here. We're gonna double crochet. All right, you might want to hold this first little chain spot here, and because it'll help you anchor things a bit. And then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to go right back into that spot and do another double crochet. That is your first V stitch. This pattern is full of V stitches. Ergo why I say V for victory. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go back in our spot with another double crochet. Okay, chain 1, and we're going to go back in for another one, double crochet, chain 1 again, and 1 more into the same spot. And of course, my little tail wanted to get in my way, so 1 more. Okay, and there we have row 1. Now this is what we should be working with, okay? And my yarn wants to get in my way, okay? But this is what you should have for row 1. Okay, you got your little chain 3 spot down here, you got 2 V stitches right here, and then you got these little spots right here, okay? This is what we're working with. All right, so we're gonna go right here where we ended. Ignore that little chain. This you're gonna deal with your tail later, but we're gonna go right here, and we're gonna chain 3 right here. 1, 2, 3, and I lost my yarn back in there. All right, and then we're gonna turn our work. And in that very first spot, we're going to put us a V stitch, which means double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1 and double crochet. Now this second row is going to be different from every other row you work on the pattern, because it kind of sets the pace for the whole pattern. So only in this row to rechain 2 here, okay? So we're going to chain 2 here, 1, 2, and then we're going to go all the way down here to our chain 3 spot right here, because this is your spine of your shawl right here. And we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and we're going to, this is our spine, so now we're going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go back in here for another V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, all right, and since we got to go way up here for our next V-stitch, so we're going to chain 2. This is the only time you're ever going to do that. And then we're going to go way up here. Now you would think that we're going to go right here because that's a V-stitch, right? No, we're going to go way up here because that's going to throw your whole shawl off. If you go here, that's not going to work. You're going to go all the way up here, okay? So we're going to go right there. Hold on. I'm not perfect. This is not a I'm not practiced at tutorials. All right. We're going to go up here in our little chain spot. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. All right. And that is the end of row 2. And this was what you should be looking at. Okay? This is row 2. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This starts your repeat. Okay? So after this, it's pretty simple. So right here, we're going to go right into this first V-stitch and do a V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right? You're going to stretch that out so it looks, so you make sure that you got your little chain spot right there, and then you got your V, and then chain 1, and then you're going right here to this little chain spot that you created before. Now this is the only chain spot that you're going to do a V-stitch in, and you'll notice that as you work the shawl up, that you'll have this one spot that goes right before your spine part that you'll have to work a V-stitch in, and that just balances the shawl. It balances it out. So you're going to work a V-stitch right there, and double crochet, and then chain 1, and then you go down and work the spine right there, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then you chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and another V-stitch, and chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Now on this side, you're doing the same thing. You see you got your little chain space right there. You're going to go right there and put yourself a V-stitch right there, and then you're going to chain 1 there and go right in this V-stitch right here. Okay, and right here, and you have your little chain spot right there. Okay, you're also going to do a V-stitch there. Okay, now at first you're going to think, oh, that looks a little lopsided. No, it doesn't look lopsided. This works very similar to a granny stitch shawl. It's kind of where I got my idea from. So it looks a little lopsided right now, but it won't long. It'll even out for you. But this is what you should look like at row 3. So now we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and basically you're gonna do the same exact thing. So you're gonna go right here in your first little spot and do a V-stitch, 1, and then chain 1, go back in here, make sure you got that little spot looks like that, chain 1 here, and then you're going to go right there to your first V-stitch. Okay, And go ahead and put you another V-stitch in that one. Because just like if you were making a blanket and you were using V-stitches, you're going to put a V-stitch and a V-stitch. That's just the same exact thing we're doing here. And it does work up very beautifully once you get the hang of it. And then we're going to do a V-stitch in this one. Sorry. This is a very awkward angle I'm having to do this at, and my arms are not liking me very much. Chain 1 and double crochet. Chain 1. And remember, we got our little chain spot right here before the spine. So remember to do that chain spot, but don't work in that one. Just this spot, and don't work that spot, because it'll mess the balance of things up. It's an easy mistake to make. I've been working on this thing for 2 weeks. Trust me. If there was a mistake to be made, I've made it. And chain 3, 2, 3. Back in. Double crochet. Chain 1. Double crochet. And chain 1. Right back here in your little chain spot. You might have to move your stitch over just to make it work. Okay? And then finish that V spot. Okay? And then you're going to go right there. Well, chain 1, back in here, and up here. And sometimes you might just have to feel your finger in there to make sure you've got an actual V-stitch instead of just the stitches in between the V-stitches, because it's easy to make that mistake. And up here into your little chain spot and work that one. And there you are. So you're just going to keep working and doing chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then working it back and forth. And just remember that you're putting a V-stitch here and not here, because this is your, just remember that is your part of your spine, part of the center of the piece. And as you go, this will just be a straight line down the middle, and it looks really beautiful worked up like that. So you don't want to mess with that. Just this is your, you know, your stitch before you get to the actual spine. So that's all you have to do. That's the repeat. You just I'll do this with you one more time. So we're just hold on a second. Mouth gets dry so easy. So we go here and do our double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Make sure you have that where it looks like that. Chain 1, go down here to this V, not in the middle here, but here. Work a double, chain 1, and a double, chain 1, go down to your next V right here, chain 1 and a double, chain 1 into this double. Depending on if you're a tight crocheter or a loose crocheter, you might have to use your fingers to find the stitches a little bit. In my little chain spot right there, do my V-stitch, and right there, chain 1, down in my spine, one, 2, 3. Oh goodness, I'm not in frame all the time, am I? I'm sorry. Okay, and that, chain 1, double crochet here, and chain 1, back to my little chain spot, chain 1, and now the yarn's changing colors. Isn't it pretty? Alright, back to this V-stitch here, okay. And here. And there we go. And there. And here. Almost back at this end here. And there. And of course, you know, with these tutorials on YouTube, if I'm going too fast for you, you can use the settings option and slow me down, because I can be too fast sometimes. So this is what it should be looking like. And of course, I'll leave my email address in the description box should you have any questions. And I will shortly have a written pattern option. I'm working with a friend to offer a written pattern to this. I think she's even working on some little diagram or something, a chart of some sort. But this is basically the repeat. You just chain 3 and go back around and around and around until you get it as long as you want. And that is the V for Victory shawl. And hopefully y'all enjoy making it. I've enjoyed creating it mostly enjoyed it. But like I said, you can do it in 1 weight all the way up to 5 weight yarn. I've run it through. Now I haven't worked it in 1 weight yarn because I can't work with that. It's too tiny for me. But I did work it in 3 weight yarn, 4 weight yarn, and 5 weight yarn, and all of that turned out just fine. So you just have to adjust your hook size. Now I did use a 6.5 hook with the Red Heart Gemstone yarn, and it did work up just fine. That's the shawl that I showed you in the beginning before we got to the tutorial part. I did use a 6.5 with that yarn, and this is of course with a 6mm to get the proper drape. So that I'll leave that up to you all, which hook size y'all use, which each yarn that you decide to use. You can usually just have to go with a larger hook than is suggested on the label, depending on what yarn it is and how much you want it to be lacy or you know, loose. But thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing all these worked up. Please look for me on Instagram at tapmama73 and post some pictures and tag me, please. Also, we have a Facebook page under the channel name, and I would love to see your pictures. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. I'll see y'all soon. Bye now.